Everybody is talking. Everybody is talking. The Oba of Benin has really brought a lot of things out, and people are beginning to see history and talk about what they do and what they do not know. Well, an authority on African history and leader of the Yoruba Nation Self-Determination Group, Professor Banji Akintoye, mounts the rostrum here today to reply in an abridged form because of space constraints to the Oba of Benin. On November 26, 2023, the Oba of Benin ignited a huge controversy about the early history of Lagos. He did so by making the claim that the Edo people of the Benin Kingdom were the founders of Lagos. Because the crown worn by the Oba of Benin originated from Ife, we must be respectful in our answer to him. Most respectfully, what we do is to lay out for the Oba of Benin the most ascertained history of Lagos from the best of knowledge from the studies of African history, the contribution of archaeology, historical, linguistic, and written records, and from the best and most sustained traditions of the land of the Yoruba and Edo people, the people of the coastal forest and island of the Lagos area occurred in the very ancient era when the Yoruba people, consisting of their many subgroups, occupied the large forest and coastal territory that is the Yoruba homeland. The Yoruba subgroup known as the Awori settled in Lagos area in those very ancient times. The Awori are one of the Yoruba subgroups. One best known fact about the Yoruba nation is that it comprises many subgroups differentiated by dialects of their common Yoruba language. The main Yoruba subgroups are from the Yoruba territories near the Niger, Benue, confluence generally southwards the Oworo, Bunu, Owe, Iyagba, Jumu, and Ikiri, who together are now commonly called the Okun Yoruba, the Igbomina, Oyo, Ibolo, Ijesha, Ekiti, Akoko, Owo, Ife, Owu, Egba, Ibarapa, Yewa, Ketu, Ondo, Ijebu, Ikale, Awori, Ilaje, and Ishekiri, all today in Nigeria. The Sabe, Anago, Uhori, Pokpo, and others today in Benin Republic. The Edo are not a Yoruba subgroup. They are an entirely different ethnic group, just as the Nupe, Igala, Hausa, and Ijo. The Edo homeland and the homeland of the Awori subgroup of the Yoruba are not contiguous. Between the Edo territory and the Lagos territory of the Awori, there are the territories of the Yoruba subgroups, Ishekiri, Owo, Ondo, Ilaje, Ikale, and Ijebu. According to the best knowledge of history from archaeology and historical linguistics, the difference between the different people of today's Nigeria Middle Belt and South, Yoruba, Igbo, Nupe, Igala, Gbayi, Edo, and others, evolved on the Middle Niger into distinct linguistic or ethnic groups or nations about 40,000 years ago. From there, these ethnic groups or nations spread out over millennia and occupied the territories that are now their homelands. Available evidence shows that each of these nations had settled into its present homeland by about 6,000 BC or about 8,000 years ago. It is from these earliest times that the Awori, one of these Yoruba subgroups, settled in the coastland and island that are now known as Lagos, with the Ijebu group to their immediate east and northeast, the Ilaje and Ikale further to the east, and the Ishekiri Sea further to the east on the coast. The Awori settled in a coastal forest area consisting of coastal forests in about the 9th century AD in central Yoruba land, and over the next 6 centuries until about 1600 AD swept over the whole of Yoruba land, resulting in the creation of unified kingdoms and known all over Yoruba land. It transformed the ancient clumps of some and separate settlements into unified kingdoms and towns everywhere in Yoruba land. Starting from Ife in the 9th century AD, this revolution continued until about the 16th century AD and turned Yoruba land into a country of many proud kingdoms and rich towns in the Awori forest. This kingdom creating revolution resulted in an Awori kingdom at Ota Isheri and on Lagos Island. According to Lagos and general Yoruba traditions, the founder of the Island kingdom was an Ife prince from Ife who, an arrival in the Awori forest, first settled briefly at Isheri and finally moved south to the main island of the area where he established his compound in a generally farmed area crowned as Oku or Eku, and the name Oku or Eko grew to become the island's name. Historians believe that these Awori kingdoms were created in the course of the 11th century AD. In about 12th century, according to the traditions of the Yoruba and Edo people, the Edo people sent to the Oba of Ife for help. Their problem was that their Edo country was being disrupted by conflicts, and the help they wanted was that the Obas of Ife should help them to bring the Yoruba kind of political order to the Edo country. The Oba of Ife responded by sending one of his grandsons, a young warrior prince named Oromiyan, to Edo. Oromiyan went, fought and subdued several warring Edo groups and created the Benin Kingdom, a kingdom like the Ife Kingdom. After ruling the Benin Kingdom for some years, Oromiyan decided that the kingdom should not be ruled by him, a non-Edo foreigner, but an Edo man. Oromiyan and the Edo elders therefore installed as the king of the kingdom a young son born to Oromiyan by one of his Edo wives, a boy named a boy born and raised in the Edo culture. That young king, named Iwuare, is the progenitor of all the kings of the kingdom of Benin Kingdom, are today counted among the Yoruba kings or among the sons of Oduduwa. The earliest known Awori people to come trading with the Awori on the Awori coastal island of Lagos, even long before the Awori had created any kingdom, were the Ilaje, who, according to the traditions of all the coastal Yoruba group, were the earliest pioneers of trade along the Yoruba coast. Later, Ijebu traders, and later see the Ikale traders, and then the Igun and Anago traders from the west came to trade among the Awuri. This coastal trade existed long before the coming of the earliest European explorers and traders to the coast of West Africa in about the 1470s AD. Following coming of European trade about the 1470s and its expansion along coast West Africa, the European traders were attracted particularly to ports like Lagos, the Benin ports of Guato and the Shekiri port sound of Warri. The vibrant trade in European imported goods enhanced the trade and wealth of these port towns. Everybody is trying to represent. The Shekiri kingdom became a rich trading kingdom, but the location of the Shekiri kingdom was much less accessible to European traders than the ports of the Benin kingdom. Therefore, most of the European trade went to the Benin ports, which until about 1550s controlled most of the coast trade and became the source of most imported goods going into the eastern part of the Yoruba interior. As a result, the Benin Kingdom became For about a century, the richest and most powerful kingdom on the West African coast. However, Lagos blossomed into a massive commercial center from about the 1550s. This growing commercial importance of Lagos attracted to Lagos more and more indigenous traders from all over the West African coast. By about 1580s, Lagos had become the greatest commercial center on the coasts of West Africa, and its trade with the European traders are totally surpassed that of the Benin Kingdom. The rulers of the Benin Kingdom responded to this by embarking on an attempt to seize control and possess the booming trade of Lagos. Wow, the Oba of Benin sent a considerable military force to Lagos in 1603. A German trader trading in Lagos, wrote in his notes that Lagos had become like a Benin military camp. The background to this was a succession dispute that ensued between two princes of the Awori Kingdom of Lagos, and the Benin decided to support one of the princes to win the throne and thereby turn the Awori Kingdom of Lagos into its vassal. The Benin forces were successful for some time, and the prince supported by them became considerably strong than his rival. But the fighting was not yet over. In the further fighting, the commander of the Benin forces was killed. The near victorious prince, named Asipa in most traditions, then decided to further seal his relationship with the Benin by offering to lead the group that was taking the body of the dead Benin commander to Benin. In Benin, this Awori prince met the Oba of Benin, who declared him his adopted son. Some traditions have it that Ashipa also married a Benin wife in Benin. Ashipa returned home into continued opposition, and in the midst of serious contention was crowned Oba of Lagos. As the opposition to him never relented, he was forced to lean and harp continually on his Benin support. Some traditions have it that to show support for this embattled Oba of Lagos, the Oba of Benin paid a brief visit to Lagos. This Oba of Lagos and his leading Awori supporters started the tradition that he was a prince from Benin, a descendant of the Oba of Benin. This is the origin of the tradition that claims a Benin origin for the Oba of Lagos, but the Benin Kingdom never succeeded in capturing and controlling Lagos or its bouncing trade until Benin itself was conquered by the British in 1897. Does this settle the controversy? Says who? See, in all of this thing, nobody is saying that Benin, they have not even said that Benin did not even have an or whatever. They're always talking about Benin military and what have you. Not that somebody is just seeing somewhere and say, oh yes, the Benin are the founders without any history. They have their own history. Everybody just coming to twist what they want. Substantially, it settles the controversy looking at the geographic positions and the relationship that existed. Yeah, it is long ago since the Edo story land has been that the Benin ruled the Yoruba land. No issue, let them go and take over the Yoruba land now. So guys, let us even know what your opinions are concerning this.